Hi everybody, Kai here behind the camera, and Ted, our hand model today. We want to show you the anatomy of what's going on at the pole end of an Exped tent, because there are several things that really do make quite a difference. So let's walk you through that. What we have here is the pole end on an Orion tent, and it's at the vestibule. This particular pole is at the end of the vestibule. So what we're going to do is take this assembly apart and then put it back together so you see everything that's happening here. So what Ted is doing is he's loosened the strap that's attached to the boot, if we could refer to this guy right here as the boot that the pole goes into. Please also note that the pole sleeves are color-coded. Ted's pointing there that there's a color-coded tab right here where the pole goes in. So gray pole, gray tab. Also note that on many Exped tents there is a preferred number, and that refers to the sequence of the pole. So this is the third pole that should be put in. Not all tents have that, because some tents use symmetrical pole configurations, such as the Andromeda. It's the same, it's 3 poles, exactly the same length, and it doesn't matter which one goes in first. So now Ted's going to sort of put this back together. We should show you one other thing though before we do, and this boot, where the pole will go into, has inside it a very clever little aluminum ferrule, and that gives it some tension, that gives it some rigidity here. But the other thing is that if you were to break a pole, you have the ability to mend that in the field. So you'd slide that guy on there and then wrap it with tape. And there are a number of those for each pole on an Exped tent. There is one of these. There are also some more in the prop-up poles on the eyelids on the flies. So now Ted will put that back together, and you'll see how easy it is. There's no tension involved when you're putting the pole in the end. The tension comes from pulling the strap, and now you can get that nice tension, but there's no struggling. There's no struggling with the pole end. Now, a couple of other important features. There is a strap, a cord at the end, so that you can stake this guy out. But there are 2 sides to this. There is a glow-in-the-dark end, which is right here, and there's the end that you want to stake. So the glow-in-the-dark is the side that you pull on, this tab, and this has a little plastic guy at the end that identifies it as the staking side. And so that's where you put the stake. And then you have an adjustment that allows you to tension it even once you've staked it. So that's important. Another detail that we want to point out is you can see that here we have a line running from the vestibule pole end right here all the way over to the next pole. And that is so that when the door is open, you can maintain tension across the bow of the pole. So there's a tensioner there. So now we're going to go down to the next pole. Let's slide on down and show you one last thing. And what Ted's showing us here is, and I'm going to point it out as well, is a little toggle and loop. And the loop is attached to the pole boot end, and the toggle is attached to the floor of the tent, the main body of the tent. And this allows us to attach the floor of the tent, the corner of the tent, to the pole end. So Ted's going to pull that out and just show you how those come apart. There we go. It's a very simple toggle and plastic loop. And in to the loop goes the toggle, and now your tent is essentially attached to the fly and the pole end. And there you have it. Very easy. Thanks a lot.